18. Call roll, please.
Commissioner Shaw,
Here.
Commissioner Ide,
Here.
Commissioner O'Donnell,
Here.
Commissioner Mangelberg is excused, Mayor Holliday.
Here. So as I normally do, if you have a cell phone, please either silence it or turn it off and stand and join me in flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we'll go on to ceremonies and proclamations. I normally don't read the proclamations, but this one's short. This is a proclamation for Historic Preservation Month, May 2018. Whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for managing growth and sustainable development, revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character while enhancing livability. And whereas historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as a people. Now, therefore, I, Dan Holliday, Mayor of Oregon City, Oregon, do proclaim May 2018 as National Preservation Month and call upon the people of Oregon City to join their fellow citizens across the United States in recognizing and participating in this special observance. So, everybody okay? Oh, citizen comment. Do we have any citizen comment?
Mr. Mahoney.
Bob? Was William sick or something?
Say again. Bob Mahoney, Oregon City. I'm just here to tell you how much I appreciate the home run you guys hit the other day in purchasing that distribution center. It came at you fast and hard, unexpectedly. You stepped up to the plate. You knew it had to be done. You did it. Congratulations. That is part of the long-range view as to implementing the comprehensive plan. Last time I was here, I was a little derelict in my comments about not suggesting to you that, or mentioning that there are two other planners that are unique in the sense that we have so many qualified planners on our staff, is Tony and Laura. And plus the Planning Commission, which has 4 practicing planners. That's unique in the state of Oregon. The other thing was that I would suggest to this commission and any future commission, you pay real close attention to the communications between your commissions and committees. There's where things are lost in translation. He said, she said. The circumstances are, I think this is what I think happened, times 4 or times 5. You get into some real problems and trying to understand what your role is, you know, in authorizing either expenditure of money or the implementation of a policy. That's crucial. Anywhere in the state of Oregon, policy communication is just absolutely critical as to how to go from one committee to another committee and implement it as it was meant to be. And the other thing too is I want you to understand that we are starting to shift gears in the state of Oregon. It's called regionalism. The problems that we're confronting here in transportation, homelessness, and housing, and other things of that nature are really, if we don't start paying attention to it, are really going to bite us. And we're not going to be along for the next 4 years or 8 years or whatever. There'll be other commissions coming along. So leave it for them, a process that's simple and that works, and then that engages what we're really all set out to do. And that is to implement the comp plan and make this community a little bit better, not completely better. That's for the next commission, on and on and on. And with that, thank you all. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, nobody else? Oh, there's nobody else here. Okay, so adoption, everybody okay with the agenda?
Yes, sir.
And then we'll move on to general business, PC 18-061, second readings of ordinance 18-1004 for LE 17-03. Legislative amendment to amend chapter 12.04.205 of the Oregon City Municipal Code for alternative mobility standards and for the Highway 213 intersection at Beaver Creek and the Transportation System Plan project list. Ms. Turway.
Thank you very much. You introduced it so well. We're here to answer any questions that you have.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve PC 18-061.
Mr. Weisman.
Is there a second?
Oh,
Second.
Mr. Weisman.
Ordinance number 18-1004, an ordinance of the City of Oregon City adopting alternate mobility targets for the intersection of Highway 213 and Beaver Creek Road through amendments to the Comprehensive Plan, Transportation System Plan, and the Oregon Municipal Code, Chapter 12.04.
Call a roll.
Commissioner Ide?
Aye.
Commissioner O'Donnell?
No.
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Mayor Holliday?
Aye.
Motion passes.
PC 18-060, second reading of ordinance 18-1005, amending the development sections of the Oregon City Municipal Code, including lot averaging, planning file of 17-04. Ms. Turway.
Thank you very much. Again, we're here to answer any questions that you have.
I don't have any questions. I might make a comment. We've grouped all these together, so it's a real potpourri of different things. I still stand by my contention that we missed the boat on lot averaging. I know what the summation says, and we distilled it down to saying that the problem laid with the power lines. So when I vote no tonight, it's simply because of that, not for the package in total. It's simply because we listened to what the people said, we heard them, we expressed sympathy, and yet the thing got distilled down to a single issue of power lines, which is not the issue. So having said that, feel free to proceed and anticipate my meaningless no vote.
I move for the second reading of ordinance number 18-1005, amending the development sections of the Oregon City Municipal Code, including lot averaging, planning file L 17-04.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Weisman.
Ordinance number 18-1005, an ordinance of the City of Oregon City amending the Oregon City Municipal Code Title 16 Land Divisions and Title 17 Zoning.
Call a roll.
Commissioner Ide?
Aye.
Commissioner O'Donnell?
No.
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Mayor Holliday?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Anybody want to pull anything from consent agenda?
Nope.
Motion?
Move to approve consent agenda.
Second?
Call a roll, please.
Commissioner Ide?
Aye.
Commissioner O'Donnell?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw?
Aye.
Mayor Holliday?
Aye. Mr. Manager, communications?
Thank you. First up, I have an update from Mr. Kabizman.
Thank you. This is just a quick update about an appeal involving the urban renewal measure that passed some time ago. If you recall, there's some litigation about whether it would be effective. The circuit court found that it was not effective, that it was preempted by state law. There have been appeals filed on, it's a bit complicated, but appeals and cross-appealed, and those are all pending now at the Court of Appeals, including ones filed by the city, the Urban Renewal Commission, and by the plaintiffs, in that case, John Williams. So it's on the slow boat. It's not the LUBA fast track, which means I would expect a decision 12 to 18 months out from the Court of Appeals. So if you have other questions, I'm happy to answer.
So has it been argued?
It has not been argued. The judgments were not finally entered until March. And so the appeals were just due the last week or two. And so.
So you're saying it'd be 12 to 18 months before we argue it?
No, 12 to 18 months before a decision. It'll be 4 to 6 weeks till we get the transcript and all the records taken care of. Then the briefing process argument is probably, as a guess, August, September, and then it takes a while to get through the court's process.
Okay.
Any other questions on that? No. Update from Ms. Turway.
Thank you very much. I want to start by thanking the Commission for the investment for Community Development Department into our new facility. It looks great, and we're ready to celebrate with the public. So we're going to have an open house on Monday, May 14th from 4 to 6 p.m., and we welcome everyone from the public and the Commission to attend as well. Then the next day, Tuesday, May 15th, we're going to have a community work session for equitable housing. And that'll be at the library from 6 to 8 p.m. You may see flyers around town that look like this, and we hope to see you there too.
Have you worked out the charges to the police department for their use of your building?
It keeps going up,
You're sitting kind
but
of
we were
close
on
down
time and
there.
under budget.
Well, your building. Go ahead.
Next, I have an update from Mr. Parno.
Thank you, City
Yes.
Manager Conkle. Thank you, Mayor Holliday and City Commissioners. I have some great news. Actually, it's phenomenal news, and I don't use that very often, that term. As you know, we're working on the issuance of the bonds for the police and municipal court facility. The voters approved that to be able to pay for a portion of the facility along with some of the other items. And each of you had a chance to review the official statement related to that transaction, which was issued yesterday for the open market to review. Pricing of the bonds is scheduled for next Tuesday, and City Manager Conkle, Police Chief Ban, and myself will drive down to the underwriter's office and oversee that process to make sure we get a good pricing. Well, as part of the issuance, the city is required to obtain a rating on the bonds and the overall credit worthiness of the city. And a couple of weeks ago, we made a presentation to Standard & Poor's out of San Francisco, and we presented the city's financial strengths to a couple of the analysts there. And last week, we received the rating. We received another upgrade from AA to AA+. That's the second highest rating you can get of any business in the world. And to kind of put that in perspective, we're in the top 1% of cities in the nation. You have to be Amazon with lots of money in your pockets to be able to get a AAA. So this is a really high standard for us. Monetarily, the rating upgrade could save us about $40,000 a year on these bonds, which is needed in the rate environment that we're seeing right now and with construction costs as well. And our financial advisor, who has something like 40 years in the business, advised, she said, Wyatt, I made it a secret goal of mine to try and get that rating upgrade. Didn't really want to tell Tony because just in case it didn't happen. And she says, very unlikely, but he was in on the call when we said we're going to go into this presentation. She said, it's so unlikely that you could get that. You're already at the AA gold standard, she said. And she was just blown away that we got that. So I placed a copy of the ratings report on the dais for you to look at when you have a chance. And I just wanted to say that we received strong or very strong rating in the areas of economy, management, budgetary performance, budgetary flexibility, liquidity, debt profile, low debt, institutional framework. So I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish for the finances of the city. And I want to thank you in particular for your leadership on things like maintaining the tax rate where it is, always looking out for your citizens financially, protecting your reserves of your general fund, and making this all possible. So thank you and congratulations.
So are there any other cities around the metro area that have that rating?
Very few. Lake Oswego has very significant reserve balances, so they are the only city that has a AAA. So.
That's the way it is.
Congratulations.
Well, so I just want to thank Chief Band and Mr. Parno. A lot of effort went into that presentation and really highlighting the good things that we have going on in our community and the strong position that we've been able to get ourselves into with some really thoughtful budgeting and expenditures and investments that we've made over the years. And we're starting to see some of those start to pay off. So it's really great. And so just want to thank them for a lot of work that went into getting us to this point. And last but not least, I will be out of the office Thursday and Friday. I'll be back Sunday night. Mr. Parno will be acting city manager while I'm away. That's all that I have for tonight.
Okay. We haven't heard from Mo in a long time. Seems like it's been like a month.
Didn't you get transferred
Status
to the library
quo over
district?
there. They are maintaining well.
Well, the library's doing great, and it's time for the annual May the 4th Be With You event tomorrow on Friday night, May the 4th. I won't be there, so go check it out and make sure my staff is doing their work behind my back. But it's the annual Star Wars event. It usually brings in hundreds of people, and we're super excited about it. Lots of things planned.
All right.
Library's doing great, and thanks for a great library.
Thank you.
Anything from commissioners?
Yes, just a couple things. John Lewis and I, and actually Phil Lewis was there too. We attended the Akanima Neighborhood Association meeting, and actually went quite well. I'm impressed with Mr. Basinger that runs that, and it was interesting because there was a few different folks there, and we were anticipating a little different conversation, but he actually kept it under control. So my hat's off to those guys. We did go to the county dinner last Thursday night, Nancy and Renata and
I did not make it.
weren't there.
No.
It was actually very nice. They put it in that music emporium thing they have over there. Really very nice. But we did get to tour the police facility and the fire station over there. And that, on my account, is getting, I'm investigating police buildings because I'm working with Chief Band on the building committee for his structure. And getting a tour of that building over there, because it's fairly new, and seeing how all that went. And in conjunction with that, on Monday, we had the first presentation from interested architects came to the police facility on Monday with Chief Band and his Sergeant Lieutenant Clear, I guess it is. Yeah, Captain Clear. And invited architects to come in and who might be interested in this project. So we've got the ball rolling on this now, so it's pretty exciting. So that's it.
Commissioner O'Donnell, you got anything?
No, sir.
Commissioner Hyde?
I do have several. First of all, I attended a retreat of the Willamette Falls Heritage Area Coalition on April 19th, and we had a robust discussion about the future planning efforts of the coalition. And while we await the approval of our 56 miles being the National Heritage District for Willamette Falls. So it was a really great discussion of about 25 different people contributing. So it was very worth our time. Secondly, the Oregon City Business Alliance Luncheon was held a few days ago, and it was a presentation by Jonathan Stone and Carol Pauley at the Downtown Association meeting, or the Downtown Association, and they were, I guess the goal was to try to get input from those in attendance on how to milk the national award for all it's worth. So a few ideas came forward on that. And just as a FYI, the next one will have Congressman Kurt Schrader attending, and I think that's on May 29th at the Abernethy Center at 11:30 a.m. So that's just FYI on that. And then I attended with Brian the youth music, the Clackamas Cities Association dinner with Youth Music Project, which was a phenomenal facility. I didn't even know it existed, and it's about 6 years old now, and they do a myriad of musical teachings and trainings and opportunities for young people to be part of musical bands and just lessons and so forth. It was a really great place. Really nice place for a venue for a dinner too. And next, I'd like to congratulate the Oregon City Police Department for their outstanding, successful event, shred event last weekend, and collection of miscellaneous drugs and so forth that no one needs anymore. It was at the EOT. I pulled in thinking I'd get there early, and I don't know, I was maybe the 80th car in line. I mean, it was a very successful event. So kudos to Chris Wadsworth and the team there for the excellent job they did out there. I don't know how many pounds of materials you guys shred that day, but it was a lot. And just wanted to thank Laura and her team for the equitable housing technical and citizen meetings that were held yesterday. I know you guys have put a lot of work into that, and wanted to also promote the May 15th meeting of the open house. And that's at the library, right, you said? Yeah. So I hope everyone can come to that and provide input on what your thoughts are on equitable housing. And last, not quite last, I just wanted to invite all the city commission and anyone that's interested to attend the quarterly meeting of the Homeless Solutions Coalition of Clackamas County. It's a meeting that's being held at the Providence Willamette Falls Community Center on May 22nd from 2 to 4 p.m. And we'll be giving an update on everything that we've been doing, and also share the concept of the service mall vision of what the coalition hopes to do to provide solutions to help people to become independent and sustainable, those that are on the street. So everyone's welcome. I just wanted to let you know about that. I'll try to send out a flyer. Maybe we can get that up. And tonight on the way in, I came in a little early and I swung by the Cove, and it was, maybe it was just the time of day. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining on the water. The trees are all, in bloom and green, and it was so beautiful down there. And I mean, I had to just stop and think, oh my goodness, and this is just the beginning. And and the buildings, of course, aren't done, but they're looking good down there. So I was just really excited when I saw all that was happening down there. So it looked like a community in the making, and I was very excited to see that. And lastly, on a personal note, I know this has nothing to do with our city business, but I just want to take a privilege to announce that I have two sisters who just recently retired, and the one, her name is Karen Rivera, and she was 43 years as a neonatal nurse in hospitals here in Kaiser Hospital and St. Vincent's. And I was just really proud of her for 43 years of taking care of the sickest babies in the city. And she just recently retired from that. And then last week, my other sister, Sandy Kirchner, retired after 41 years at Good Samaritan Hospital as a physical therapist on a team of people that address cancer rehabilitation. So I'm just really proud of them. And then my younger sister, at the age of 56, decided to go back to school to become a nurse, and she has now graduated and is starting her career. So I just wanted to make those announcements and remind all the women out there that if you have a dream and a goal and a plan, or even if you don't have a plan, there's a lot of help and money and support out there available to make your dreams come true like these lovely ladies did. That's all.
And sure, you are a city commissioner for Oregon City.
Oh.
I mean, really.
My pleasure.
It's like number one, see?
So, today, I was in meetings most of the day, had the exec session of the Willamette Falls Legacy Project Partners, and then spent almost all afternoon at Westland City Hall I've been appointed to the Willamette Falls Locks Commission, the Governor's Commission on Willamette Falls Locks. This is our second meeting. We're proceeding with, we elected officers today, and then moving forward, having some, we had some charrettes and discussions about, the kinds of general subject matters that we're going to talk about moving forward, financing and some other kinds of things, but it's pretty early in the process, and I think we're probably going to have, it'll probably be 2 years of meetings before we'll get to some place that is somewhat definitive. So I will be updating y'all as we have our meetings. And if there's nothing else, then we're adjourned, and we're going to come back